Yeah, Dave's got a set of Mizuno irons, a very good set of irons, but it doesn't always mean that because they're a good set of irons that they're going to be the right set for you. The head was a forged head and a steel shaft as well, and the forged head and steel shaft didn't really suit his swing speed or his swing style. The very heavy steel shaft just caused him not quite to square the club head up. He was hitting it on this low sort of left to right flight. He was losing sort of a lot of power off the club face from the soft forged material as well. So going for the graphite shaft allowed him to, one, square the club head up, and also just, with the stainless steel head, just create a lot more force.
With the graphite shaft I was a bit wary, but having hit the ball, yardage went up on average 25 yards from my Mizuno 7-iron to the new Yonex Z-Force 7-iron. So yeah, the straight away I could see that it's certainly the club for me. Dispersion was similar to the Mizuno, but it was that extra 25 yards that really will make the difference.
Where golf is such a macho game, everyone wants to be using sort of a heavy sort of steel shaft, or a tall stiff 9-degree driver, going for that lighter weight shaft, really does sort of make the difference.
Yeah, I was always of the perception that they'd be a bit more whippy, a bit more bendy, and I felt like I would lose the club face in the swing, but there was none of that. It didn't really feel, I don't think, any different to the Mizuno. Maybe a little bit lighter, but other than that there was no real difference in the swing feel to me.
Hit my 7-iron just to get warmed up. Then we took some data on the flight scope, so hitting that, thankfully I was hitting it quite well. Then we switched to the Yonex club, again a 7-iron, so I hit that 5 shots again on flight scope, hitting it quite well, and then we went back and compared the data to see if I had gained any distance, launch angles and spin.
Brian had a set of steel RPZ irons. His swing speed was around about 74 miles an hour, so probably again just a little too slow for a steel shaft, and because of that was just sort of losing a little bit of distance. So we fitted him for the graphite irons, tried the regular to start with. Brian's bad shot sort of tends to go to the left a little bit, so we tried the stiff as well just to see whether that sort of helps with the dispersion. Regular works better for him. Clubhead speed stayed about the same, if anything just dropped just sort of a little bit less, but because he was allowing the clubhead to square up so much better at impact, creating so much force, much better force between the club and the ball, and we gained sort of around about 2.5 miles an hour sort of faster ball speed off the club face, which resulted in around about 5 yards more distance.
The club felt a little bit different from mine, so yeah, I was quite pleased with gaining anything, as you would be, but dispersion was really good as well. Wasn't forcing it at all, nice easy swings, coming back, checking the data, launch angle was down, spin was down, and distance was up 8 yards this time, which was great. We see PGA players now playing graphite shafts. That misconception is changing, that's for sure, and what we've done today is kind of reaffirmed that. So
David had a set of Titleist AP1s, again a very good set of golf clubs, but maybe not the right set of clubs for David. Swings a club at sort of around about 73 miles an hour, and with the steel shaft it was just a little too heavy for him. He's losing the ball sort of out to the right quite a lot. So we fitted him for the Superlight shaft. He was sort of in between sort of regular graphite or Superlight. The lighter weight Superlight shaft just allowed him just to square the club head up so much easier. One sort of resulted in a better sort of contact with the ball. His ball speed increased by 3.5 miles an hour, which then gave him sort of 8 yards in distance as well.
I have quite a low swing speed, 72 to 74 miles per hour, and we found that the Superlight was the better of the two shafts. There was an 8-yard difference in the distance, and the trajectory with the Yonex was slightly better than the Titleist. After trying the irons, Darren gave me a 4-5 hybrid in the regular shaft to try, and then we tried the Superlight shaft with the hybrids, and the gapping was absolutely superb and complemented the irons very well.
One of the most important things is obviously squaring the club head up at sort of impact. If the shaft isn't sort of right, whether it's too heavy, too sort of, too stiff for you, the club head isn't going to be at the right angle at impact, which means that the ball isn't going to be coming off the right part of the club face. With all three, it enabled them to return the club head back to a better angle and getting the ball out of the centre of the club face as well.